All right, let's jump right into this explainer. We are looking at a major, rapidly evolving geopolitical shift right now between Australia and the Solomon Islands, one that could completely redefine trade, security, and diplomatic alignments across the Pacific for years to come. To put this into perspective, the Solomon Islands has a population of roughly 700,000 people, yet massive global superpowers are intensely vying for its partnership. It's fascinating. If you want to understand how global power dynamics are shifting in real time, this is exactly where you need to look.
We have a lot of complex maneuvering to break down, so here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover 1. A Pacific diplomatic shift. 2. The Australia Treaty Proposal. 3. Reviewing the China Pact. 4. Why Solomon Islands matter. 5. The broader geopolitical stakes. And 6. What happens next.
So the big headline hitting the wires is this. Canberra and Honiara are officially negotiating a comprehensive strategic treaty. And it's important we define what that actually means, right? Because a comprehensive strategic treaty isn't just your standard diplomatic handshake or a surface-level memo. We're talking about deep, legally binding integration across multiple sectors of society and government. Make no mistake, this is one of the most consequential government-to-government developments we've seen in the region lately. It signals a massive potential pivot in Pacific diplomacy.
Section 1. A Pacific diplomatic shift. You know, diplomacy usually moves at an absolutely glacial pace. Yet newly elected Solomon Islands Prime Minister Matthew Wale made this his very first official visit, sitting down in Canberra with Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. And he did this less than 3 weeks after taking office. I mean, 3 weeks? That is literally light speed in the diplomatic world. That kind of speed sends a very clear, deliberate message. There is an urgent, undeniable desire from Honiara's new leadership to connect and align with Canberra right out of the gate.
Section 2. The Australia Treaty Proposal.
So what exactly is on the table here? Well, listen to the specific words Prime Minister Wale used during the talks. He explicitly focused on rebuilding trust and acknowledged the Solomon Islands as a long-standing partner of Australia. That phrase, rebuilding trust, is key. It hits the nail on the head, neutrally acknowledging the reality of the historical friction between the two nations over the past few years. By addressing that head-on, it gives this new stance some real geopolitical weight and lays a realistic foundation for deep cooperation. To achieve that enduring partnership, the proposed treaty targets 5 core pillars: security, economic development, infrastructure, governance, and regional stability. Australia has been pretty explicit about its ambition to remain the Pacific region's preferred security partner. But the broader strategy here is about locking the two nations' operational machinery together for the long haul. Canberra wants a comprehensive, institutional framework, not just a series of one-off deals. They're going for systemic, long-term integration. Now, you might be wondering, what's in it for the Solomon Islands? For Honiara, this isn't just abstract political theory. We're talking about highly tangible, on-the-ground benefits. This means keeping the lights on with new energy projects, bouncing back from devastating storms with reliable disaster assistance, and funding vital local education programs. And that's all on top of the policing and institutional initiatives Australia already supports. A treaty of this magnitude is basically a master key to everyday national development.
Section 3. Reviewing the China Pact. To truly understand this new proposal, we have to zoom out for a second. Talk about strategic whiplash. Back in 2022, the Solomon Islands signed a security agreement with China, a move that completely altered the calculus for Australia, New Zealand, the US, and others. Fast forward 4 years to 2026, Matthew Wale takes office. And within weeks, right alongside these rapid treaty talks with Australia, his government confirms they are actively and formally reviewing that 2022 pact with Beijing. But I want to be really clear about what this means. Prime Minister Wale hasn't indicated any immediate termination or tearing up of the China security agreement. Instead, Honiara is engaging in a neutral, calculated reassessment of its security priorities and external partnerships. They are carefully weighing their options, figuring out what serves their sovereign national interests best in this incredibly complex moment. Section 4. Why Solomon Islands matter.
Let's step back even further and ask the fundamental question: why are global powers so intensely focused here in the first place? Well, geography dictates diplomacy. The Solomon Islands occupies a profoundly important strategic position in the South Pacific. Think of the islands as the crossroads, or maybe the essential toll booth of the entire region. In global geopolitics, location is everything, and this specific spot on the map gives the nation immense leverage. To be specific, these islands sit directly along key maritime routes connecting Australia, Asia, and the United States. And this directly impacts all of us.
These waters carry the literal supply chains, the electronics, the consumer goods, the energy that the whole world relies on every single day. Whichever nations build strong, reliable partnerships here gain critical access to massive shipping networks linking 3 distinct economically vital regions.
Section 5. The broader geopolitical stakes.
So what does this all mean for global investors and regional stability? We're seeing a stark contrast in diplomatic approaches right now. On one hand, you have long-term institutional partnerships, like what Australia is pushing for. This creates a comprehensive framework, heavily reducing uncertainty and renewing economic influence. On the other hand, relying on short-term initiatives might offer quick project funding, but it leads to fragmented capital flows and way less systemic integration. Investors crave stability, and this proposed treaty is a massive signal of long-term stability.
A treaty like this wouldn't just exist in a vacuum. It's a major bellwether. If Australia and the Solomon Islands finalize this, it could redirect the flow of future infrastructure investment and entirely shift development financing across the entire region. It could literally rewrite the blueprint for security cooperation and spark totally new diplomatic alignments across neighboring Pacific nations. The domino effect here is immense, and the momentum is absolutely building.
Section 6. What happens next? Okay, so the high-level photo ops are over. Now the grueling, granular work begins. Step 1. Over the coming months, teams of officials from both governments are going to dive into the detailed negotiations. Their primary hurdle is Step 2, defining the exact scope and structure of this comprehensive strategic treaty. It is incredibly tough work turning high-level promises into binding operational realities. If they succeed, Step 3 is the finalization of one of the most significant diplomatic realignments the Pacific has seen in recent memory.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a massive question to consider. Could this single treaty not only rewrite the future of the South Pacific, but actually act as a blueprint for how mid-sized nations navigate the rivalry of global superpowers? It's a true testament to how fast the geopolitical chessboard is moving right now. Keep a really close eye on these negotiations over the coming months, because the outcomes are going to echo far beyond the waters of the Solomon Islands. Thanks for tuning in with me today, and keep asking the big questions.